to the Santa special of Diana Johnson.
Dame Cheryl. And it's always a delight to follow the Honourable Gentleman for Keighley, and I particularly wanted to agree with the comments he made about Northern. I think they were very well made. Can I start by congratulating my honourable friend for Dewsbury? I think this is a very timely debate. I think she set out very clearly the appalling statistics of what's been happening over the last 6 to 9 months in Yorkshire and the suffering that passengers have had to endure. I want specifically to talk about TransPennine and also First Hull Trains, both companies part of First Group, who we know in the last financial year made millions in profit. Now, I want to start by just giving some experiences of passengers. The first one. Happy bank holiday weekend, TransPennine Express. I'm sure we'll have a good one too when my husband eventually gets to on your train service from Leeds to Hull. He's still sat on the platform. It's the 5th night in a row, and he's missed his son's bedtime. And I've also had constituents write to me saying they're actually moving away from Hull because of the unreliability of the service when they want to commute to Leeds. And then on the overcrowding issue that's happened over the last year, this quote: "If you want intimacy, but you're too scared to seek it out, take a TransPennine Express train instead and press yourself against 4 strangers for 2 hours." Now, TransPennine Express decided earlier this year, as part of their timetabling changes, that they would increase the length of the journey from Hull across to Manchester. They would add 4 additional stops in. Apparently, TransPennine said, when questioned about this by the Hull and Humber Chamber of Commerce, that the timetable development will enhance connectivity to and from Hull. What it actually does is add about a 15-minute additional time to the journey. There was no consultation, no discussion. TransPennine just decided to do this themselves. And this does not fit with the Northern Powerhouse. The connectivity of the great cities of the North, it should be reducing journey time, not increasing them. And when the Hull MPs, the 3 of us, asked to meet with Leo Goodwin, the head of TransPennine Express, who earns, I think, £360,000 as a pay package, he wouldn't meet with us in Hull. In fact, when we had the meeting with the Chamber of Commerce, we empty-chaired him. We had a chair with his name on because he wouldn't come and talk to us. And we shamed him, really, into coming to explain to us why TransPennine had taken this action. So it's clear. Cancellations, late running, being squashed in like sardines on the service from Leeds. Now, in Hull, what we're saying is that we feel like we're the end of the line and we're often forgotten. We're not getting new trains, we're getting refurbished trains as part of the TransPennine refurbishment stock. We don't have a direct train to Manchester Airport, but somewhere like Scarborough does, a small town, important, but Hull as a city does not. We have longer journeys now across the Pennines because of these changes that TransPennine made, and we do not have a direct service from Hull to Liverpool, that area that we know is the Northern Powerhouse, the spine of the Northern Powerhouse. So what I'm asking for, and what I'd like the Minister to respond to, is we think we should have a half-hourly additional service from Hull that's an express service, and we should have a direct link to Manchester Airport. I also just want to mention TransPennine Express because they run Hull Station on behalf of Network Rail, and we've been voted the 9th worst station in the UK by Passenger Focus. We had 1.4 million spent to improve facilities that were supposed to be for City of Culture in 2017, didn't actually finish until 2018. We've got smaller waiting rooms, smelly toilets, we've got gaffer tape over the signage in the station. We've got a Christmas tree that was put up, and then we're surrounded with bollards and hazard tape. It just beggars belief, the lack of pride that TransPennine have in our station. We've had no manager for months. We've had remote management from Huddersfield for the station.
Will she give way on that point?
I will, yes.
I thank her for being generous. I have a similar problem at Dewsbury. We don't have any toilets in our stations, and TransPennine Express have suggested that my constituents and passengers using the station should use the pub nearby. For cultural and many other reasons, many people aren't comfortable going into pubs to use the bathrooms. So she agree with me that it's a disgrace in this day and age that a very busy station should not have any toilet facilities.
I absolutely agree with my honourable friend on that, and I think there are real questions for the Department of Transport about whether TransPennine are actually meeting their franchise specification. Right. I just want to finish with Hull Trains, because we were really proud in Hull to get the open access operator Hull Trains in September 2000. We had to fight to get them, and they have been a brilliant flagship open operator service since 2000, but in the last 12 months they've really deteriorated. They only have 4 trains. They're constantly being taken off to be repaired. They're 180s, and I'm told by those who know about these things that they are not fit for purpose for the route that they're travelling every day up and down the East Coast Main Line. Customers are so frustrated with the cancellations, the services that stop at Peterborough or Doncaster. They don't feel that Hull Trains are giving them fair information in good time. And I know that my honourable friend for Hull West and Hesse, who unfortunately isn't here this morning, has asked me to say that Hull Trains are due to get new trains at the end of 2019, which is very welcome. However, we think that First Group need to put some pressure on to get those trains to us sooner. The last 12 months for Hull Trains have been disastrous in terms of customer relations. We need to get those trains for us in Hull as soon as possible. The Managing Director tells me we might have an additional train that she's able to get from somewhere else after Christmas. That's welcome, but they really need to sort themselves out. I'm really pleased that the Minister's in his place as a Yorkshire MP, and I hope he is going to start to see some real changes in the course of the next few months around rail services in the north. Yeah.